drink some coffee. What are you imbibing this evening, Jimmy?
Yeah, I just finished the coffee, so I think I'm gonna have some Kanoka, which is I'm gonna have a drink with some shikuasa, and shikuasa is like a little lime type of citrus thing, which kind of is from Okinawa. So I'm kind of excited about that because I like lime type things.
I tried to get into like the whole fruit infusion water stuff for a while, and I couldn't keep it up. My fruit would rot in the fridge.
Sorry. So hey, we got Dan from Immersive here. Like, I'm super stoked because like anyone else that we could talk to that's like doing metaverse where there is a place, right? Because I think in a lot of the sort of very fluid definitions of the term metaverse, you know, you could have like a card game and some lore in NFTs, and like that's a metaverse to some people. And again, I'm biased, obviously, right? But I'm
biased too,
right? Having that ability to have an actual place where all of these things can then, you know, connect and become more real and connect people with them. You know, it seems more real to me. So I'm really, really excited to chat about you, to kind of see where you guys are at, see what the plan is, yada yada. But like, what does that mean like to you? Obviously, we probably share that kind of thing, but you know, how do you feel about the current sort of state of what people are sort of thinking when they hear the word metaverse?
So it's something that we bring up in our meetings all the time. We're like, we can't be a metaverse if all these other people are metaverses. We got to be something else. So we're trying to come up with we're trying to reinvent what like AR and VR is to like XR for Microsoft. Essentially, we're trying to come up with a different term for what a metaverse is. We're like playing around with like multiverse because we're technically bringing in all these metaverses into one thing. But then you look at the definition online and you're like, it doesn't really hit the right way. And then you're kind of coming up with like we're just like, should we be metaverse landscapes? Because we're seeing, you know, the posters and banners of metaverse landscapes coming around. So we're like, should we kind of entitle ourselves as more of a virtual world like landscape? And then we're just like, maybe we should just be like an NFT metaverse or something like that. Like something, just a different term is what we're looking for. So yeah, we're in the same exact boat as you. I mean, we really haven't landed on it yet. But you know, if you you know, create the tagline, we'll probably follow. But we're thinking of it all the time.
I'm just snagging metaverse, and like 5 years from now, everyone's gonna be like, yeah, if you call yourself a metaverse, that's cute. But unless you have a building and a place to go. Now, granted, like I'm probably gonna lose, but you know, we'll see.
I mean, I'm still partial to Omniverse, if I'm honest about it.
Omniverse,
I like that.
All right,
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I like how you think really conservatively. Just like,
yeah.
Well, nobody's using it. When was the last time you saw Omniverse hashtag, right? And so, like, Omniverse Omniverse could become the Uplift, or you know, or any wax metaverse. I mean, you guys are welcome,
right? Just our team, our team of metaverse. That's terrible.
But yeah, I mean, the reason I even started thinking about it is because I had the Ellie Blob collection, which is just these pixel monsters. I'm just like, well, technically, everything could eventually become immersive because you know our same exact team became a metaverse creating team. Like the same team behind just the pixel art became the people creating the virtual world. So in theory, I mean, every collection could be a metaverse. You know, it's just everybody's in different stages of where they're at in getting to that.
Well, and I think like we see ourselves more as a platform to help projects do that, right? And I get the impression you guys are thinking sort of in the same line.
Yeah, I mean, we started off like that. I mean, our approach was let's sell the initial beta passes to collectors. So first off, and then airdrop the rest of the access to them. And then for creators, it was let's get creators into the space so that we add that additional utility that they're looking for to their NFTs. You know, just give it one more use case essentially.
Right.
But then it doesn't stop there because as we grow out the world, we can continue to use their NFTs in the world as, you know, the verifiable object that we need in the space to complete any kind of activity or objective in the space.
Yeah, that's fun. So what are the kinds of objectives that are in the space now or that you're launching soon?
Yeah, so right now, as far as like objectives, it's all behind the scenes, but we have this free weekend that we have coming up on September 25th. That's where we're going to start showcasing, you know, what the NFTs can be used for in the space. They can be used from anything to access certain areas inside of the world. So we have the Neon Space guys. They have a city that we imported. They actually built a city for like photo renders for their NFTs. But because it's a 3D space, we were able to just import it right into Immersive, so that you if you own their NFTs, you can go into their actual world and experience their Genesis Street. And like see their signs and hear the music when you get closer to them, because it's got the spatial like sound like around it. So you got access, you got equipables. So like these NFTs are wearable cosmetics for your avatars in the space. We have a couple collections that are just designing these like masks or like things that you can hold in your hand so that other people can see you wearing it. Where, you know, they have these shopping places you can go and buy that and then equip it to your character as long as you own the NFT. So those are the ones that are in there right now. In addition to that, we want to, of course, like introduce like our marketplace where you can buy like anything from their collections in a totally like customizable like store for them. And then ultimately just, you know, if we need a rock, let's say we need a rock when you're mining something and we just don't have the guy to model it, you know, we can technically incorporate somebody else's rock into the space and you're just mining their NFT because we need it as a piece of a blend recipe.
Rocky, the pet rock who likes to rock away in his rocking chair. That's what
technically
me and Jen are on a
those rocks that are going for like hundreds of mil. We can just put those in there somehow.
Yeah,
but yeah.
It's the whole idea that like the pet rocks are going for gazillions of dollars. Yeah. I don't want to say blatant ridiculous money laundering.
But I would
that's my guess.
And honestly, no, it could be anything, right? Like the collectors in the space are also weird, but I just like. And this is just owning it for anybody watching this, just because I don't get it. I was like, the only plausible thing to me is that, I mean, if you were going to wash trade something up to a gazillion, but it could just be people are fucking weird and awesome and they like rocks. That's totally possible.
Maybe the rocks are dirty. I don't know.
What?
When they're dirty, you got to wash them. It's just.
Oh, right. Because okay, sure. Yeah.
So here's what I want
to do. Coffee. Like you already had one. Like I'm just gonna drink.
I would love to see our NFTs, host a spot in Immersive where people could walk in and they could pick up 3D builds that exist in our metaverse. Like that would be pretty cool. I mean, yeah. I would pay to go see that.
Right.
Absolutely.
So we're going to be able to render our. So we're going to have a situation pretty soon where you can trade in your sort of generic land NFT. For one with either a picture or an actual spinning voxel, 3D voxel of the build you have on there, right?
The current plot there. That's right. Really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And there'll be one-of-ones and that whole thing. A little bit better than a fucking rock. Okay.
Yeah, definitely better than a rock.
We think. But I wonder if the voxel was tied, like how do you guys bring 3D objects into Immersive? Like is it if we wanted to get super fucking crazy, could we take like a massive build in the Uplift and figure out how to get it into Immersive?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so that's kind of exactly what we did for the Neon Space guys. I mean, this is if you go in there, this is a massive city. It's bigger than Immersive is how big the city is. But, we just put it in a portal off to the side. Like, we obviously kind of sync it up to our style of design around the center, but you can go right in there as long as you own a couple of their NFTs, and the city's massive and they're consistent. Yep. Are you raising your hand for,
yeah, I wanted to ask about this portal. Like this portal ports to another place in your universe. Would it be possible to port to another whole universe? I mean,
possibly. I mean, if we deep link it properly, we may be able to get it to pop up, Minecraft with the proper server and stuff like that. I really don't know. But yeah, we
popping up another game, Jimmy. It's not like you have
exactly
right software wise.
Yeah. It's all built into our like game download kind of.
So that's what I wasn't sure. Like if it's actually like embedded, if their city is actually embedded in your metaverse, or if that portal just takes you to their city. Because I know that they did a demo of their city on another.
Yeah.
Right. Like they did a demo of their city on another platform. I'm not really sure what they did. So I wasn't sure whether like your portal ported it to them or whether your portal like was a replica of what they already built into Immersive.
So they have this like I guess guy who's been in the movie business and has done like CGI and stuff like that for various things. So they have this entire 3D model already built. So and they just use it as like the background for their neon signs essentially. So then they're
Right.
just taking the photo, so it looks like there's a whole city in the background. But the rest of the city didn't get used. So the nice thing is they could just take that same exact file, give it to us. We can import it, give it the functionality that it needs, so that you can like explore it. And then we just import it right in, and then they're able to explore their own city in a way that they haven't even seen it. It's pretty cool.
Okay, I understand.
That's righteous, man. So are you guys doing sort of land ownership, or is it just like mapping other people's NFTs to this? Like, how are you guys scaling that way?
So we are aiming to do land ownership. We're going to start though with more of like the commercial properties. So we want stores first, and then land second. So the way that we're going to be doing it is for the 25th, we've pre-selected 10 of our creators. I mean, they paid, but they basically bought these storefronts in our marketplace. They're right now kind of submitting their designs to us, and we've kind of created this like mold so we can build, these buildings to their, requirements like pretty quickly. If you need multiple staircases and like doors and stuff like that, and different wallpaper coloring, if you want, a greeter at the door that like you can talk to, and they'll have like voice scripts or something like that. Anything to like background music, products, all that stuff. They're just sending that into us, and we're just, putting that together so that when hopefully we get a decent amount of people to come in on the 25th, they like get to walk through, these people's 3D virtual store, and then, find out about their project, because it doesn't just need to be NFTs is the nice thing. Like we're disguising these things. Like we have the Magenta collection. She's got these like stickers. So we really have like, when you're at the checkout line, you got all like the guilty buys in the line. Well, like at her like front desk of her store, she's got her little like stands with like tiny stickers of all of her NFTs on there. And when you look at the stickers, it like each sticker will take you out so that you can buy the NFT. But then in addition to that, she also has her own like Etsy and Patreon thing. So we've set up like a little club area. So when you're sitting in the club area, you can get information about her Patreon and then subscribe to her Patreon. And then she also has like the hostess that'll offer, work like art commissions. So she obviously works off commissions sometimes. So she can offer that service inside of there. So we kind of encompass all these different, ways of selling and services that people provide.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That was one of the first things. Like, obviously, we talk about NFTs all the time, and TC's out there building. Like, I feel like he's building a gallery in the Uplift like every 3 freaking days or some ridiculous thing. Yeah. And you're just using QR codes to punch people out, right? Which works pretty well. But yeah, I mean, it's all been NFTs, but it could be shoes, right? It could be anything. And so I'm really looking forward to when we start seeing that. So you said this is on the 25th?
25th, yeah. It's like a free weekend. Our goal was, so I'm assuming you guys have the same issue as well. So like, obviously we have a download. It's not as easy as just going, typing in a web address and start playing the clicker game. It's we have to get people in there, download our game first, which is obviously a little bit of a hurdle, and then, get them to play. So we figured, the best thing to do, and we have the beta access card that's a requirement to even start the game. Mm-hmm. So in addition, we just figured, to combat that, we figured, all right, let's try just opening up for just a weekend, see if we can handle it server wise, see if we can, get people maybe not in the Wax community to come in and get hyped up about another metaverse project that's kind of making its rounds. And then, the benefit of it is obviously we're getting people to download our game. It's much easier to get somebody to, patch it right before some type of event that we want to host than, try and force them from step one to download it and get them in. But yeah, so 25th, it's going to be cool. So we got a lot planned for it. We want to, like, if it's somebody that's not been in the Wax community before, like we want the main menu to walk them through setting up their wallet from there. So they'll click like register, and it'll have them set up the Wax Cloud wallet. It'll have them, log right into the game. And then we also want to try and be the first person to give them their first NFT for free, just through gameplay. So, we're going to have like tents set up around so you can explore and then grab NFTs from right inside the game. That's
awesome, man. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to have you back on the 25th, and we'll just hop in there and take a look around.
Absolutely. It's going to be fun. We got a lot of the creators involved and getting hyped about it, and we'll try and make it a big deal.
Oh man, I'm sure it will be. That you guys are clearly like innovating in the space where Decentraland's kind of been the the big whale in the room, and to an extent, crypto voxels as well. I love that more projects are doing this, because it just, I think there is a real desire and need for us to feel like we're actually in places, and and I think it got sparked a little bit by the pandemic. We're all stuck in our houses, and we all kind of have that desire to be in a place together. Like, I know that's ultimately where the uplift came from, right? Like, we had a bunch of people coming into the server just to kind of feel that proximity and to be doing things with people in a place, right? Yeah. It's Minecraft's like simple shit or whatever, but it ended up being really, really important. So I'm excited about what you guys are doing. What do you got, Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting to me to see how these hurdles are met, right? Like in our case, we have to get people to actually go and pay like Mojang for a Minecraft account and like essentially install it and find our server. So it is a little bit difficult. Like, and I'm always interested in ways that other people are doing it as well, right? Like, some of these other bigger ones are free. Crypto voxels, I think, Decentraland, it's free to just like sign in, but like they're empty a lot of times. You don't see that many people. I mean, even we're just like starting to begin, and I mean, if you go to our 3D map, you'll see quite a few people, but our maps are huge. So like, it's not that often that you even run into people. I've never actually once passed someone on the rails, which is incredible. Like, for me to think about that, because everyone's riding the rails everywhere, right? And so,
yeah. Like, well, it's only been a week since Active Rewards went live, but yeah, I mean, to your point, Dan. I mean, we're on Wednesday. We've got is that tomorrow? Man, I gotta get a bunch of signs up. Jeez.
Tomorrow,
yeah, we've got the big. We're moving to AWS. We
nice.
One of our worlds over there, and we want to test, that capacity or whatever. So yeah, we're getting everybody to come in to do a big, huge event where everybody's allowed to put up signs. We basically have the mechanic now where if you punch a sign, we can track it internally. Pretty soon, we're actually going to put that out on chain so that people can basically map whatever functionality they want it to do to that.
That's
so
awesome.
There's signs going up all over the freaking place, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, they're going to show up on world maps, which is going to be awesome. So it's going to be a ridiculous scavenger hunt for.
And this is in the Genesis one as well, or
yeah,
only
in the Genesis. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So if you have any,
I got to go put a sign in there. Then and I'm like,
I spent like
30, 50.
Yeah, I spent like 2 hours today putting up signs. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think my wife and I are doing it tonight. So it has to be #high5, and it has to be lowercase I. I know some people put an uppercase I. We won't track that. So like, just make sure on the top of your sign it says #high5. Okay. And then underneath that you can put whatever you want.
All right, I got to stop in there then and update it a little bit. I got the immersive tower in there and some Melly blobs.
I thought I freaking saw that.
Yeah, I saw that. I actually want to do a featured post on it. I would love to see, get you to write something so that we can put it on our blog. People can come in and they can check it out. Maybe some images from inside your world that can be put up on the wall so people can see it, or like even like screenshots from an event or something like that. Like, I really like the idea of involving other metaverses in builds in the uplift. I think it's really important, or events as well, right? Like, people can go in and show their galleries, which will like eventually be taken down, maybe in another metaverse, and we can have a museum that represents that, right?
Yeah. If there's a 1% chance we can get a 3D voxel of a build in the uplift and put it in immersive, just tell me what I need to do.
Yeah, I mean, we would just need it in a .fbx file and the texturing that you want, and we can bring it in. As long as it's not too crazy as far as polys, but I don't imagine the voxel. It'll get too big. But so it should
we can even test the stuff out, just because I think that would be really, really incredible. And because I am of the firm opinion that a rising tide lifts all ships, and any collaboration we can do, any connections that we can create between different metaverses or omniverses, Jimmy, if you prefer. I'm not 100% sure that's going to catch on, but I love you, so fuck it, I'll use it. I just love that capacity, right? Because at the end of the day, it just means we're creating more connections and making the network bigger.
Yeah, the way that I look at it is if we're building for Wax, then everybody on Wax needs to keep up in their level, and if we can provide that help, or if we can work with other teams that can provide that help, that's our goal. That's our only goal, is because we need it to grow. I mean, and if we're all in the same space, there's no point in competing with everybody. It's just make it the best there is, because there's going to be a ton of competition on other blockchains. So if we could be different from them, we'll be more desirable. Growth is a sign of success, is what I say. So, need.
I have about like 3 different farms and about 5 different supermarkets in my weekly rotation. I'm just saying, there's going to be different metaverses for different purposes. People are going to go to them to interact in different ways. And you know, I'm really stoked to see another one on Wax personally, because I think like that's really exciting to see people starting to use this blockchain for things other than NFTs. And I mean, metaverses and NFTs go hand in hand. But I think we can expand way beyond what the world thinks Wax is. Like, I already know we have expanded. The world just hasn't figured it out yet, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
And it's cool. I see the. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I
already see people interested in having, you know, things in the Uplift, and then also things in Immersis. Like, they want it combined, like on both platforms. Like, they see like that.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense.
All right. I just bought a couple of these because I downloaded the thing and I couldn't get on there. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna pass. And instead of buying one, I bought 2, and so I'm gonna give one away in the comments. Right, meow.
Ooh, nice.
Boink.
There you go.
Grab it, weirdos. Anyway, hey, while we're here, we should probably do some gratitudes.
Yeah. And I definitely, well, you pull that up. I definitely need to go and check out the Tub Gallery. That just sounds funny. So to go check the Uplift Builders Gallery by Mello and the group formerly known as MYT whatever.
Every time.
But I'm super stoked. I'm trying to reserve some of my travel time and get some of my, you know, business shit out of the way so that I can like just go around and punch tons of signs. I'm really looking forward to this event. So
yeah, that's the awesome thing. Like, I think this side chain like thing where we kind of mask you know, the blockchain with interactions inside of a game is a very, because to anybody, does it really matter how you obtain the NFT? Like, as long as like it's smooth and you earn it through some type of like gameplay. I mean, I don't think it matters that you need to be, you know, confirming every single transaction to get it. I mean, all that does is boost up the CPU. You'll eventually run into arrows. Everybody's complaining. So just to come in there and hit the sign and get something, you know, that's a better experience.
Omniverse. Oh Jesus. I blame you. Yeah, I'm grateful for you guys, man. I think you're totally right, man. Like, getting to the point where, you know, the having like even the punchline get thing, like have that be like if you hit this, you know, it's just gonna send you an NFT.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't we do that? That's super fun.
Yep.
Not only that, but like create whitelist, like and then once it's on chain, anyone with like a half decent programmer is gonna be able to ascribe any action to that.
Exactly.
Which we're super stoked about.
Exactly.
I mean, I won't be surprised someday if like, you know, punch sign get thing becomes like Google. It just becomes like a verb that people use in everyday conversation. Hey, did you punch sign get thing?
Yeah.
We're the worst at naming things, and that would be really fun. I'm not gonna lie. Yep. Anyway, so Dan, what are you grateful for this morning?
Yeah. So, well, first off, I'm grateful for just life lessons in a weird way. Like, I just feel like life has provided me just like all these lessons that have allowed me to get to this point. So I just like life and how it's allowed development to this point where, like, you know, me a few months ago is making pixel art, and somehow, you know, a few months later I can be working on a project like this. It's just fun.
Absolutely. Jimmy.
I'm grateful for metaverses, actually.
Not going to go with the Omniverse. I literally just dropped it just for you.
Okay, sure. I'm grateful for Omniverses. Let's do that. Sure. I would actually love to have you on the show sometime to talk about pixel art and immersives as well. But alongside who am I thinking about from Crown? Max, sorry. Yeah, alongside Max Infeld, because I think that would be a really fun conversation just to talk about like how you bridge that, you know, pixel art artistic kind of blockchain space. So maybe we can do that sometime as well.
I already talked to him, by the way. It's like I was joking with Max because Max is fucking like a rock star now. Like curio cards are like almost as big as CryptoPunks for fuck's sake. So he's just like, yeah, and he's still max. They're just like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just that whole story is so incredible. Remind me, man. He said he was going to come back on. I just haven't booked it yet, Jimmy. So
Sweet. Yeah, no worries. We got a pretty good show.
Rockstar Max Infeld
this week, but we've got tons of space for tons of people. So
cool beans. I'll stick around here for a couple more minutes if anybody wants to get a gratitude up on the wall. Other than this thing on the 25th, and again, seriously, if you want to come back and do some stuff live with us, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I really do. Like, I want to figure out how we do the Omniverse collab. Maybe
we
that's
should
what we call it, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's the ultimate goal,
right?
Is get it. Yeah, I mean,
stick all
unless there's some new goal that happens after that. Like once we combine metaverses, what's the next step?
We do it with our minds.
Yeah, right.
Or something.
Neuralink comes out, and yeah,
right, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody knows.
I'm only a little bit joking.
Yeah, that's the Metaversal Effect. Nobody knows. Nobody knows the ripples that are going to take.
Yeah, like once we have our universes connected and people are enjoying it and loving it, I think the next step becomes really obvious. We just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah. Most likely.
Yeah. Yes. So the 25th, do you guys have a time for that? Or
we're gonna try and get it out as early as possible. We'll most likely start probably around this time, 9 a.m. Eastern time. So yeah, that would be start time, and then we'll probably end it midnight of the 26th. But yeah, so
I like Corey's idea. Usually we don't stream on the 25th. That'd be Saturday. But I think in your case, I think we could probably break our own rule and go in and have a gander around, because I think that would be super fun to follow that as well.
Yeah, Jimmy, if you want to do that, I'm in. I'll sign up for that shit right now.
Yep. But the one really cool thing that I think like people are going to really appreciate is on the 25th. You're going to be like, when you acquire that first NFT, it is going to be through that action that we were kind of talking about, where you do something and then you get the NFT minted to you right away through the gameplay. So like we want to have at least the first 2 tiers of like our crafting system set up. So the way that our crafting system works is, say you come in like Minecraft and you chop a tree. If you get a log, when you pick up the log, it's just being minted right into your Wax Cloud Wallet. It's just going to be like your Wax Cloud Wallet in Immersus is going to function as like your in-game inventory in a way. And then if you're chopping down the tree and you get super lucky, you're going to get something that we're calling a blueprint, which will be the recipe for creating, an axe, essentially. So it's going to be a non-transferable asset, and that's going to be how we kind of track your progress in the game. So, you could be chopping the tree, get the recipe for the axe, and then have to go and gather all the supplies to make the upgraded axe. And at some point, there is going to be one person in the world that is going to be the only person that can make the axe in the world. And, we want to create it so like each recipe is super intricate. Like you can't just make the axe, you got to make the axe handle, or you got to make the lumber first. So there's always a lot of like supply and demand for different, pieces of a craft, essentially.
It's interesting because it makes me feel like you've almost gamified the whole Our Planet thing, right? Like it's like you have this recipe, but now you actually have to go find the material. So am I right in understanding that essentially every object then in the Immersive Metaverse will essentially be an NFT? You might not be able to transfer it, you might not be able to move it, but every single thing that you interact with in that metaverse in itself will be an NFT. It will be logged and recorded on the blockchain.
Correct. And I feel like eventually we'll move to like the point where, because creators are already obviously creating, 3D assets that can be worn inside the space, but like there's nothing stopping us from like, if they want it to have stats inside of the world, if it wants to be like a piece of equipment that like you bring into combat, they could technically sell a blueprint, but the way that we kind of, limit it is setting up a recipe that's equivalent to one of our items that we have inside the game. So they can't just buy the store and craft something that's super strong and super OP. We would just balance it out by requiring them to maybe cut 1 million trees to make it or something like that. So that's how we can kind of balance and import assets that creators want to create.
I mean, that's not a balance I like. We're planting a million trees with Yoshi drops. Come on.
Yeah.
I guess cutting down Metaversal trees are okay. Sorry.
Yeah, they're spawned back.
There's a question here that maybe you can answer. My antivirus just popped up when launching the Immersies that said it has an IDP generic threat in the program. What does that mean?
Yep. So Windows Defender doesn't compile C+ code properly or C# code properly, and since the game's developed in Unity, it'll flag it. But essentially, what you need is you can either pay for something that's called an EV certification, and they'll try and force it through verification on Windows side. It's not really guaranteed. It's pretty expensive when the fix is essentially just enough people allowing it to go through the Windows Defender. So we just, we're kind of funding this ourselves at this point. So it's not like we have, tons of money to just blow on something that eventually just goes away for free.
So yeah, basically we just suck it up, and I just did. I'm just like,
yeah, I mean,
I got a giant can of fuck it. So anyway, long story short, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, you'll notice a lot of programs do it. It's just you could buy the cert, but it's not even guaranteed that cert's gonna go through with Windows. So it's a weird. I don't know why it exists, to be honest.
All right, well, there you go.
No, it's not taking your info.
Cool. All right.
I just like that you're on a Mad Max rampage of throwing sea lanterns under the brush.
It's just what I do.
It's good.
It's really good.
I was just in there, and it looks so, and I shouldn't be flying.
It's like general maintenance in here,
right? Well, it's it looks so cool, and you can actually see under them. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Definition.
I totally agree.
I don't know. I'm fucking
that's me. Glowstone in that. I'm putting it in every corner, just trying to hide it because I do think it adds to it.
Right.
So where is your Mercy's Tower?
We weren't best friends before. We are now.
We should. I don't know. What are the coordinates for your Mercy's Tower? I kind of like to go check it out.
Oh,
30, 50. I hope I'm not mixing up I hate that is the fact that I could just throw you in a complete opposite side of the map by mixing up the two numbers, but I believe it's 30, 50, 150 is what it is. Let me just confirm real quick here.
Basically, is that up towards the top? Where the hell is that?
Yeah, it's top left.
Top left?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, you're opposite. Well, I guess basically opposite of the plot that I'm managing over for Jenner EOS, I guess. Top left is good. I'm trying to get down to the bottom, and I keep running into freaking people who keep sending me in the other direction. It's annoying.
So
top
Daniel
left
with
is going to be really low numbers.
Daniel with Wise Worlds is the one that kind of set me up with the land. He was kind of the one that onboarded me into the Uplift, and that was one of his plots that he gave over to me to build on. I was like, all right, let's build. So yeah,
cool.
But
Christian Odin says 50, 30, 50.
All right, it may be 50, 30. Yeah, that's what I mean. Oh, it is. I'm so sorry. It's 50, 30, 50. All right. I'm scrolling through chats here. Yes, in Genesis.
50, 30, 50. Got it. All right, cool. Let's head over there. I built this walkway because you don't get any active points for flying. So I just want to walk as far over there as I possibly can to get to the rail.
Jenner EOS plot caused me a bit of trouble for this event because you don't get any points for swimming and it's a water plot. So I had to come up with really creative ways to make people run and walk, and essentially there's just a bunch of doors around the perimeter that go along the ocean floor that you walk out, you take 10 steps, and there's a sea lantern with a sign that you get to punch it. So you get rewards. Don't swim. On the water
That's all about.
See, now what I got to do is add a staircase, going around the entire tower. Buy some time, get people running up it, see if there's anything up there. Yeah.
I mean, here's how to buy some time.
It's true.
What the hell? This is just so good.
That is awesome.
Anyway.
Yeah, there's some really cool galleries that are starting to pop up in the Uplift. If you haven't checked it out yet, I just did a piece on the rocket gallery. There's some pretty cool images, and they're doing some really interesting things. They're changing over art a lot of times. They're putting new artists in. They just picked up a piece adjacent to their rocket gallery plot, so I think they're going to do this massive expansion. I'm really excited to see what these guys are coming up with, because they're trying to like bring that, real world art. TC as well. He's in the process of creating a gallery for NFT holders. Like,
that's the way to do it. If you guys didn't know where their sign was, it's right down there.
What I need to do is I like these little like skins that you have or whatever it is, like the visual change of the game. It makes it way nicer than like vanilla Minecraft.
Yeah. I mean, the shader packs that are out there now are just really amazing. I've been stuck in this Astralex one for a while, but they have ones that are almost hyper real, like that just get the sun and the clouds and everything, and all the ray tracing looks just like really amazeballs.
Yeah. We should totally do like a blog post on different shader packs. Do a competition on what's the best shader pack and get people to like take crazy images of certain things in Uplift.
I think that's just going to be Gary fighting himself.
We should just get everyone to take like images from every single possible shader pack of Uplift Tower and then like do something with that. Like
that's cool though. Yeah,
that's doing it right now.
That would be like pretty sweet. I still can't get my shaders to work. I mean, yeah, I have problems on my computer with shaders as well. I just go straight vanilla.
Minecarts.
I'm not much of a flavor guy.
Damn it.
Oh, I remember trying to get like a skin on my character. I don't even think that's easy, right? Like you still have to like.
It's actually not too hard. So you basically go to Skindex.
Yeah.
And then you can upload it right to your Microsoft account. It's actually pretty easy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking olden days where like.
Yeah. I had a hard time too. Like now there's just a link on it. So if you go to Skindex, I think it's .com.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Pick whichever one. You can actually make them there as well. And then just click the upload to Microsoft, and it just goes right to your Microsoft account, and then it's just in your stuff.
That's much better, because I think you had to like move it into a folder, and then like it's I was just like I don't know, I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna mess up the download.
Yeah, it took me a long time to do it because it was overwhelming for me when I first started as well. Corey knows, like Corey, that the cathedral existed before my time in Minecraft, which is kind of interesting. So I was here kind of maybe at the beginning for the Uplift World, but I never did anything in Minecraft before, and I'm not old enough to have an 18-year-old son to like show me what to do, unfortunately. So good for you, Christian. I kind of you should rent him out to younger people that aren't quite old enough to have. But yeah, it's interesting to see. I think what different people are doing, families are doing. I popped into the Uplift server today. There was some commotion about what constitutes illegal activity in Uplift, and I think most people are kind of getting it, but like a lot of new people are coming into the game, and now they kind of realize why automation is bad, and we want to create this metaverse where we have people that are interacting. And when you have things that are being automated, especially on survival servers, then that takes like certain aspects where you could have human to human contact in the Omniverse, that doesn't necessarily earn rewards or contribute to the ecosystem that we're trying to build. So the majority of people got that. There was a few people that were a little bit mystified because they were getting yelled at for trying to police other people. But so basically what I said is like, they're not policing you because they're telling you what to do. They're policing you because if you don't do it, we're going to instate rules. That means that nobody's ever going to be allowed to use this stuff again. And once people started to figure that out, there was kind of this camaraderie behind understanding and trying to do things. So I just want to put a shout out. If you buy a plot and there's a hopper on it, I mean, dismantle it, take it down, right? We're not checking every single plot is bought and sold. Just follow the rules. And if somebody in the game, like 99% of the people who are in the game, if they tell you that something's probably not okay, they're not getting anything out of it themselves. They're probably telling you this because there's a very good reason. And feel free to submit a ticket and ask your question and argue your case, that's cool. But like, taking up an hour or 2 hour time in the game, in the chat, arguing about whether this automation is considered automation. I mean, somebody's going to make that call. It's not going to be me. It's probably going to be Gary or some of our other people who are traveling around. And so definitely, if there's a sign on your plot, you should probably fix it. Don't say, I disagree, I'm going to argue this. You could, and you might win, but probably you won't. Our guys kind of know what they're doing. They're really
like
smart.
if it's an auto farm or like a gazillion freaking hoppers or pointless hoppers, you're probably screwed. If it's a game and it's clearly a game or a maze or a way for people to interact, those are the ones that we're going to look at specifically and grandfather in, over time. Again, like the community response, actually, because we were just going to ban it all. And that, for the record, I wanted to ban it all. And everyone's like, why don't we let the community see if they can handle it on their own? Okay. And so far, they really have. Yeah. And just, shocking me yet again with how kind of brilliant and collaborative everyone can be to try and help us make something that's really awesome. So, I don't know. I'm grateful for all you freaking weirdos. It's kind of awesome.
You're making me think, like, what's going to be, like, the thing that we need to, like, set rules for inside of our place. Like, eventually it'll get to that point. I just don't know what it is, but there's going to be something that could break the game, and I don't know what it is yet, but when it does happen, we got to, like, obviously enforce it. I hope it's not like super bad stuff, like, but I can't even predict that part either, like some like criminal stuff. But
how old are you guys actually? How long have you guys been around?
So the metaverse, so Ellie Blob was created like May of 2020. So like, or not May, sorry, August of 2020. So, end of the year, a little bit before the December, boom thing that came up. But as far as the Immersus game goes, the game engine has been kind of built inside Unity for like over 3-4 years at this point. It was used for other enterprise applications that we were selling. So it's not like it was just, we made it all recently. This has been around for a while. It's just been sold as other software and experiences for AR and VR. So we've had it for forever. The metaverse, though, happened after we started seeing Ellie Blobs like sell, and we were like, what are these NFTs? Let's investigate this field a little bit more than just kind of this little side thing that we're doing. And we're just like, to be honest, we may have even been slightly, influenced by the Uplift in a way. We were just like, wow, okay, now we can see like you can create these virtual worlds where also you own the digital assets that you get inside of them. Why don't we just, change course, forget about creating for enterprise and try and create like a game, because truly the majority of the people on our team are gamers at heart anyway. So we were just like, why don't we just do something that we enjoy? And to be honest, we work so many hours, and I really don't like hate it. Like I love what we're doing. I find it so fun. It's everything that I would want to be doing in life in a way.
Right.
One of my favorite things
have I not been here before, Jimmy?
Yeah, I don't know. Or it just went up.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
awesome. Crazy. That is massive.
One of my favorite things that's happened probably this year was, it happened maybe last week or the week before. Corey started the show with saying, hey, like I woke up and an Ender Dragon got loose and destroyed a bunch of shit. I love my job. And like, I was like, that like totally resonates, right? So I know what you mean. Like when you're building communities and metaverses and stuff like that, I mean, and you're seeing what people are creating, you guys aren't quite there yet, but it's going to be really interesting once these recipes come out and you see all these people running around trying to collect these recipes and create these, essentially goods based on the NFTs in the game. Like, I think that'll be when the community will start to rally and like find ways to like, mess with you. So to speak.
That could be exploited somehow. Somebody's going to find it. We're not going to know it first either. So, yeah.
Hey, Morton was asking if I just know my way around this well. Absolutely not. I'm cool. I'm not that cool. No, I had the maps open to figure out where it was, and then I got in the rail just generally, because it's like once you're out there, you kind of know what's around it. But I got the map right over there.
Yep.
And we're close.
Yep. You look like it. I feel like some of this is familiar. But yeah, I feel like every single day the decision is, do I go out into the real world or do I just create a world where, physics don't exist? I can come up with anything that I want. So like, when does the virtual world actually start outweighing it? I mean, if I'm falling into that, I mean, I'm imagining more people will. So I just don't see metaverses going away. I do see them just continuously getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
I know it's a little bit scary because like I was at the pool the other day and there was like a "Don't dive, stupid" sign, and I was just like, "That's way more than 1 block of water. I'll be fine."
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think are the features that I mean? Like, I guess the way you guys are focusing now, gameplay, mixing in NFTs, all stuff that we're thinking about as well.
Yep.
And we're running experiments, right? I mean, even Decentraland, we've been talking to a lot of investors that have been talking to them, and they apparently have like 18 million people going in their platform every day. No, they don't.
Yeah.
And so whatever, right? Like that, they're gonna say whatever they want to say. By the way, I think this is it.
Yep, that's it.
Nice job on the cart cleanup, Corey. I respect that. Thank you.
I mean, I try to be a good fellow citizen or whatever. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really
we got the logo down on the bottom with our little lasers coming up, and then the tower on top of it. But and then we got our blobs.
I like it. Well, I try and get some shots of this here. Cool, man.
Yeah, took a little while. Thankfully, I've played Minecraft before. I was thinking of like the styles that I like to play of Minecraft, like so like obviously there's a style called Skyblock where you literally just start with like I always thought that would be a cool idea for like a uplift like survival thing where you literally just start with an island with very limited resources, because I think it just forms a better base for like an economy in a way where like you only start with some grass, some stone, some rock and water and stuff, and then you have to kind of build everything out from that. So there's a clear path of progress. And then you guys kind of host the upgrade store in a way where everybody kind of comes in there and you can kind of trade. It just kind of creates a more pure like economy. I think it's forced upon you in a way, because you obviously can't reach the next milestone of creating. Obviously, you're against the automation, but on a Skyblock server, I think the automation is a little bit more warranted. If you market your land properly, you can get the automation going to create stone and then sell stone to other people that want to build out their little sky island.
Yeah, no, I think part of that too is that because we have big maps, there's some realities that we can't get around scaling wise.
True.
Right?
Yeah,
because they're all contiguous.
Yep.
I think we're looking at doing different kinds of events and stuff. Oh, that's adorable. Hello, neighbor. Nice to meet you. Sorry, I get really easily amused. But yeah, like having breakout worlds like Nemesis, but that are kind of purpose built and sized appropriately so that we can get in and create the kinds of experiences that people want in a way that's not going to overly tax our server situation.
Yep.
And of course, don't fuck with the economy either, right? I mean that, I think Tuttle always talks about different economic zones, because I think that the survival worlds that we have right now are all actually moving towards having pretty much exactly the same rule sets, right? So we have them all interlinked, and you can move stuff in between worlds, and we're gonna have the shops open pretty soon, so you can buy and sell things from Upliftium and create those economies of scale. That's why, like, automation wise, like just. I kept trying to tell people, if you make things that make iron at like $1 million a thing, iron is pointless.
Yeah, true.
Right? Like, it's just like everyone has iron now. Mining is pointless. Thank you for ruining the game. Right. But people think there's going to be advantage to that. And what I've been trying to say over and over and over again is, if you have a way to get people to come to your land, that is a farm where you basically are hiring people out to come and farm your carrots instead of like pour water on them or whatever the automated version of it is or whatever, right?
Yep.
You're earning Upliftium and wax.
Right.
Way more than selling carrots when you've made 1 trillion carrots and they're fucking valueless. Right? It's like, there's things we're going to be able to do. And anyway.
Yep. That makes sense though.
And there's a ton of people out there that like used to, not so much anymore. So I'm assuming that they've been whitelisted now. But there's a ton of people out there that were like, "Oh, I don't have land. Like, I want to come in and I want to play." This is a perfect opportunity to whitelist someone to your land, to come in and build, to come in and work for you, to come in and do this stuff. And like, they're actually getting rewarded for doing that. You're getting rewarded for having them there on your land. Collecting your resources or building your stuff, right? Like it's this is the perfect opportunity. This early stage, I think is it's like phase 2. It reminds me a little bit about, when we were all on one map and we had like a few community members in here that were just building. Like it's like that times 1,000, but all these little pockets of people that are working together. And you're looking at like different worlds, like different businesses, I think different things that are kind of happening that are starting to stretch across servers. You've got the mega store in one, you've got the inner city mall, all built by the same people, right? Like you've got different projects that are like branching out and doing like really very really interesting things. Like Mitzi, they're doing like the walkthroughs and things like that. They're getting tons of people that are coming. We had an interview with some dude on here last week, I believe, for NFT Game Day. Like he was talking about all the different people he's working with and the different things he's doing, right? If you're in here and you're alone and you have no friends, there's lots of people who need carrots picked. And probably through those people, by picking their carrots, you will actually find friends and you will enjoy your time way more than building automated machines to get a bunch of iron that nobody needs.
Yeah.
It's serious when he starts knocking the table.
Yeah.
Hear that shit.
Yes. Fair enough. So I wanted to ask this because I feel like you you already. Is that a rocking horse museum?
Panda.
The zoo.
I feel like you kind of already answered this, but other than to say, like, I think you guys are only accepting a limited number of people right now, I don't really know what the real answer is.
Yeah, so the process for who we let in for projects right now is technically everybody. We have an open application for creators right now, where if you have a collection and you want to get into Immersus, you basically just fill out the application on our website. And as we get to you, because we actually have like a wait list right now of like 70 projects, it's just we can't keep up with the people that are trying to apply. As we get through the list, your time will eventually get there where you get in. But it's like 3 months at this point, because I'm only able to manage importing about 3 collections a week at this point. So yeah, it's tough, and that's the big thing that we're noticing is like, so our stores sound awesome, right? But then we have to figure out a way for us to, like, if they sell that NFT of the storefront going forward, it's going to require a whole new, redesign and modeling for the person that now owns the store. Yep. So, that's why right now we're only just doing it to 10 people until we figure out the solution to accommodate, people wanting to update their stores all the time. Right. Obviously, we're going to scale it. Yeah, we're going to have to, first off, expand the team as soon as we want to do that. Obviously, we want to develop tools to make it as easy as possible for the person that does fill that role to set up these stores, very easily. And then on top of that, like, we also want to make it like not hard. So we're trying to come up with like ways where it's not like straight up wax for redesign. Like, we would maybe start looking into ways where, like, you cutting down the tree inside the game is generating enough money so that when you burn all your assets to us or give them to us in another blend recipe in a way, you cover the cost of your redesign in a way. Like, you don't have to pay us anything. You can play the game and earn the redesign through playing the game.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I mean, that's ultimately kind of where we've landed with Upliftium too, right? Like your amount of time in game doing the kinds of things that we're targeting in any given season. Yep. Gets you stuff. That's actually the only way to get it, which is kind of fun. But yeah, I mean, I think I love that idea. That way, if super users want to come in, or people that have any capital want to come in and just like, actually pay for it, great. But you can start from zero, right? Like, that's always been kind of important. And I mean, obviously, until we had whitelisting going on, you couldn't really do this without buying some land here, right? But it's really important to us to have the ability for somebody to start with absolutely nothing and start grinding out, some kind of, earning potential in the Uplift. And now all you got to do is get whitelisted by somebody, and you're good to go.
I mean, remember what people do on your land. If somebody messes up on your land and you get banned, that's your fault. You need to monitor this. Sorry to be the police here, but like you need to monitor this, right? Like, but like, please bring people in. There's tons of people out there that would love to have this experience. Just as a cadaver to people's dreams.
A cadaver.
Yeah, if you've never played Minecraft before, it's. I mean, there's a reason why it's such a big, like, worldwide game. I mean, it's great. You're essentially giving them just the building blocks to build whatever they want, and that's like an ideal game. If you can create that game where all you have to do is give the player, the tools, and then they can make it whatever they want. I feel like that's the dream. That's the dream. That's the game that you want to create, because then you don't need to make anything else. They make it all, and they make it whatever they want to.
Exactly. That's why it's way more important for us to get the ability to even have just one sign, and we're really close to this now because we're tracking internally. We're just getting the way that we want to actually start to publish it to chain. But that one little piece, you build anything you want, you set any sign up you want, you put any pictures up you want, and you create any action outside of the game that you want, right? And so we think with those basic pieces and the amount of innovation and amazing projects that are in this space, we kind of feel like that's going to be a good bet. But it's going to be really fun. Like I want to get in there and like just set up a storefront. Yeah. So I'll just have to get in line like everybody else.
They didn't last long. I'll say that. Right? As soon as we offered it, those slots filled up.
Makes sense, man. Makes sense.
But we will eventually, open up and do one for the public as well. We just need to make sure that we want it to be as best as it can be, and as easy for us to implement, and as manageable and transferable. Like, there's anything that we do, we want the ownership aspect to be felt. Like I think that's what virtual worlds do very good is make digital ownership very easy to understand to somebody that doesn't understand what an NFT is. Like, if I tell you that you can come into this world and now you own this item, and you're the only person in the world that owns it, that's a little bit more, easy to comprehend than, or you fight a monster to get the item, obviously. But that item is a little bit more easier to comprehend than selling a photo on Atomic Hub. Like, we do kind of compare like immersive. Like, when we think of like the storefronts, we're thinking like, oh, we're going to be Amazon. We're just going to provide the places where people can sell their own stuff there. And then when we have like our ads in the game, we're just like, oh, we're going to take on the role of Google, where, you can own this ad space and put up whatever ads you want for your project. We're kind of like we're equating like all these storefronts to websites.
That's kind of what I was thinking when you were talking there. Like, why would I ever go to Etsy again if I could wander into a Mercy's, walk into a shop, and walk around the good, like a representation of the good that I want to buy, right? Yeah, that's.
And Etsy's competitors right next door too. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're sucked into Etsy's, all their stuff and data that they've gathered on you, forcing down like the one thing that they want you to see. You get the store, whichever Etsy's competition is, right next to there. We'll have it so that you can filter your market district down to like the particular apparel or accessory or cosmetic or NFT that you're looking to get. So like,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of like dynamically allocate what people are immersed in.
Yeah. I mean, they can, as long as they assign tags to it, right? Like they'll assign. So we'll know exactly what it is.
That's interesting.
I mean, even for the Uplift, one of the things that I wanted to do, and I talked to Anders about this a little bit, because Anders is going through the process of setting up kind of an online, good shop and stuff, like for his channel over at Any Observation. And I thought it would be really cool. Like, I kind of used to, and I kind of died. But we used to have like this little fashion company where we would sell like reconfigured, modern clothing that came out of like old kimono and traditional materials that we re-rendered, which is pretty cool. And I thought, like, well, what if I like took pictures of them and created NFTs out of them, and then like figured out a way to put a QR code on the wall in a gallery, and then when people clicked that QR code and bought it, then within the metadata there was an address that you could send it to. That'd be kind of an interesting idea, right? And this is just kind of an idea that I toyed around with doing someday in the Uplift when maybe I have time. But it kind of sounds like something that you guys are kind of, basing a lot of your thought and energy into. So that I really like that. Before I finish my little rant here, I just have one final question. So you mean to tell me that you cannot tell me the exact month, year, and day that my friend Corey will be allowed to have his own shop in the Uplift? How dare you? How dare you not have that in your roadmap? How dare you, Dan?
So, in case anyone is wondering, this just comes from us being smashed by FUD and fucking the WEN question 900 times.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, you'll get the you'll get tipped off, I guess, in a way. But yeah, no, you'll know. I mean, hey, the way that we set up how you could get the stores technically was first come, first serve. If you were a creator early on, you got the offer. So it's funny how like a lot of the people get in the stores of these like, smaller indie projects when like you would assume like the people that would want the stores are like the big massive giants in the space already. But
people don't know the layout. I'm glad you're doing that, because we kind of did it the same way, right? Like we had like a really basic kind of thing for sorry, I'm getting paid now because I haven't 1 minute. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, Dan, we should make this a regular thing.
Yeah, I like
cool with it.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
And 25th, legit. If you want to kick that off on this show, we'll come with you.
Yeah. I'd love to. I'm trying to get like my mom to play, everybody, because like we can do it. Like, hey, just get in there and you'll get your wallet set up, and like we're gonna make it so easy. You get your wallet set up and you get your first NFT, and then you can kind of see what it's all about. Like the NFT is gonna be wearable in the game too, so like you get to experience the whole flow is a wallet ownership, and then wearing it in a virtual world, and then you get to explore shops and just see what the future really could be, as long as it just continues to be adopted.
Baller. That's righteous, man.
Cool.
All right, guys.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I got to roll. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Awesome.
It's coming so efficiently. Do it.